This is the warp. During play, your defeated spaceships will be transported to the warp while waiting to be freed. The warp also acts as a scorekeeper. Players move their colony markers around the warp to record their progress in winning the game. Place the warp in the center of the playing area. Players each choose a color and place their corresponding colony marker next to the warp by the space marked 0. Here we will demonstrate a game with just 4 players, so in this setup we will exclude the blue color. These are planets. Each player places 5 planets of their color in front of them however they see fit. These 5 planets make up the player's home system. However, be sure to leave enough space for the hyperspace gate. The hyperspace gate is used during encounters to clearly show where and how an encounter is taking place. These are player spaceships. Each player has 20 ships and stacks 4 ships on each of his or her home planets. This is the Destiny deck. These cards are used to determine a player's opponent during each encounter. They consist of 3 cards of each player color, as well as a few wild cards and special cards. Look through the deck and remove any cards that refer to player colors that are not being used. In this case, we will remove the blue cards. Then, shuffle the deck. Turn up cards one at a time until a color card appears. This card is red, so the red player goes first. Shuffle the deck once again and set it next to the playing area. This is the Cosmic deck. The Cosmic cards come in 4 varieties. First are encounter cards. These are used to resolve encounters and consist of numbered attack cards, negotiate cards, and a single morph card. Second are reinforcement cards. These can turn the tide of an encounter. Third are artifact cards. These have a variety of effects throughout the game. And finally, flare cards. Each flare card corresponds with an alien race card. Flare cards are similar to artifact cards, but can be played multiple times and have special effects if played by the matching race. Although there are several flare cards, only 10 will be used in each game. To determine the alien race of each player, separate the flare cards and shuffle them. Deal 2 flare cards to each player. Players find the corresponding alien race sheets and secretly choose which race they'd like to play from the 2 options. Let's look at the alien sheets. Each alien has a name, a player's skill level indicated by the green, yellow, or red icon, a special power used only by them during the game, a brief historical description which has no effect on gameplay, and at the bottom of each alien sheet is a player prerequisite which explains what role the player must be filling in order to use the power, an indicator of whether the power is optional or mandatory, and a timing strip. This indicates which phase or phases an alien's power can be used. Once players choose an alien race to play, they should discard the second option face down into the box. Gather up the 2 flare cards you dealt to each player, face down. If there are fewer than 5 players playing, add additional random flare cards until the total is exactly 10. In this case, we'll add 2 additional flare cards. Shuffle the flare cards into the Cosmic deck, and deal 8 Cosmic cards to each player. Players may look at their cards, but may not reveal them to other players. You may notice additional components in the game, including a deck of tech cards, cosmic tokens, grudge tokens, a lunar cannon, a Genesis planet, and a Prometheus token. These items are only put into play if an alien race calls for them, or as a variation to the game. That's it! The setup is done, and you are now ready to start playing Cosmic Encounter.